Welcome to Perpetual Backlog Podcast, the gaming podcast catered for you to listen and get through that pesky backlog of yours. With hosts like Aqua, I have no idea what I'm doing, Dalit Duskwhite,
Come for the games, stay for my friends trying to kill me with their horrible puns,
and Leek Whipple.
Hey, this is Leek coming at you with a funny one-liner that I've been ordered to record, but the joke is I can't think of anything, so yeah, finger guns, pew pew, totally cool.
Alright, so I'm gonna have you guys go first because I played a dynamic range of different video games and with different things this past week. So I might be talking for a little bit, so what did you guys do this week?
You're absolutely the worst. Well, I'll make this easy for us. I played doing my finals and finishing this semester. So.
I hate that game.
So do I. I'm going to be honest with you.
And you paid for that?
Yeah, I sure did. One way or another.
You feel good about it, though?
Yeah, I mean, I passed both with, like, literally full marks, so I'm not too worried. But,
yeah, words. Well, you League.
I mostly play, well, I've been doing a lot of work, actually working on a game project as well. An actual game project too, so that's one of the projects I'm on, and also a book. So I've been busy. I squeezed in Stardew Valley again to relax. And just a dash of Final Fantasy 14. Otherwise, quite busy. So you mentioned you had lots to say, eh? It's time. No. It's your time now.
Damn, I thought this was gonna be like a little bit longer, but apparently I'm the one that doesn't have a life in this group. So I play video games.
Alas.
So I got a PS5 this week, as I stated last week.
Yes.
It came in on Wednesday. Hooked up and swapped everything over, which is really easy, actually. Like, you turn your PS4 on, you turn your PS5 on, you set it up, make sure they're both connected on the same network, and then it takes like 30 minutes to transfer everything over. And I'm able to download every game that I own digitally on the PlayStation 5, so that's nice. It is very sleek, smooth. It is almost as tall as my computer tower.
It's so big.
And it's sitting right next to my computer tower, too. So, like, when I look at it, I see my PS5, and then, like, behind my PS5 is my tower, and I can't even see the inside of my tower because of how big the fucking PS5 is. So, yeah, it's like a 10-pound console. So, pretty great. As for games I have played on it, I have played quite a few amount of video games this week. I've completed 2, and I played like 2 demos as well this week. So, first, I beat East 9.
Congrats.
Yes.
Was it good?
I have never felt more proud to have played previous games in a series than I have at the end of this game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They pulled quite a bit from previous games, like just story-wise, after you beat the final boss. And actually even a little bit before you beat the final boss as well.
Wait, they pull it on you that late into the game?
So, in an overall, like, gist of things, something happens throughout the whole entire game that pulls from Adolf's previous adventures throughout the other games. And it's actually what fuels the antagonist's plot. Like, the reason why the antagonist plot is what it is because Adolf's been through on these so many adventures. And so he's able to, like, pull the, like, memories from that into doing what happens in the end of the game. I'm trying to be very vague here because I don't want to spoil anything.
I appreciate this.
But there's a specific thing that happens after you beat the boss that gives a callback to every single game in the series. Even the one that we don't have. Which kind of bugs me because there's actually a couple of bits in the game where it references East 5, and we don't have East 5. It never got localized.
Huh.
So that's great. I didn't actually see how many hours it took me to play. For some reason, I can't find the. I'd have to go through the journal and actually look to see how long it took me to beat the game. But I want to say it's probably about 30. I don't feel like I actually played that game for very long. I feel like I was going through the chapters pretty quickly. It is pretty good. Pretty good JRPG. Pretty good action JRPG. It's probably one of the more fluid battle systems out of the most recent ones that it's part of this battle system. Because like from Celceta and on, they pretty much use the same type of battle system where it's you swap characters and they each do different types of damage to each enemy.
Or be me, get Raging Bull, assign her whatever weapon type you need, and play as her.
So I did that, except for I didn't assign her. I just kept her on Smash and swapped out Adel and Doll to be different things. So like I had Adel be his the normal slashing, and I changed Doll from slashing to piercing.
Yep, this checks out.
Yeah, and then I played as Bull the majority of the game.
Oh, it was such a... I'll give you this. It did feel pretty good to play. I mean, at the time I was also playing Devil May Cry, so it's a rough comparison. But for what it is, it felt pretty good to play.
Yeah, no, I'll get it. They each have like their own different types of like dodge and flash guard timings. Especially if you're trying to do flash guards in the middle of their like attack animations. Mm-hmm. Adel's the easiest to deal with that. He's the easiest to get the timing of dodging and flash guarding. Well, Bull's probably the second hardest. Mainly because her attack animations are long and wide. And you can't just like flash guard like always in the middle of the animations. You have there's a set point, and it's very precise. But that being the case, if you play on anything below, I guess hard, the game's like piss easy. You don't even have to think about it. Which is weird because I feel like East 8 was a little harder even on normal difficulty. East 9 was very, very, very easy.
I wonder if that comes as a result of East 8 being the way it was.
Maybe, but I don't know. I feel like East 8 wasn't hard to get through either. The hardest part of East 8 was the length of the second half of the game. Because it felt like that game went on for fucking ever. East 9's pacing is like ridiculously good. No chapter feels longer than the other, really. Other than maybe chapter 8. Which is like the second to last chapter.
Ah, fair enough.
But East 8's good. I like it. East 8, but East 9's good. Definitely recommend it. This is the only game that I had a comparison between playing. Well, actually, when going to Ghost of Tsushima, I can actually talk about that. But East 9's because I started it on the PS4 and then finished it on the PS5. This game plays so much better on the PS5. Like, holy shit!
Yeah, I can't stand surprised.
Solid 60. Everything's fluid. The controller's latency is fucking non-existent. It feels perfect. PS4, there's a lot of frame drops. It's really choppy. The controllers are controller. I didn't feel too much of a difference with the controller other than the DualSense is a little bit more responsive. But yeah, if you have a PS5 and you're gonna play any game, just play it on the PS5. That's it's a lot, and there's not even a PS5 patch for this game yet. I know. Falcom's looking into doing it because I think they did it for Hajimari. I think there's a PS5 patch for Hajimari as well, so I've got to actually get onto that. But there's not one for Ys, and so even if the game isn't like actually optimized for the PS5, it still runs fucking great. So that's enough of Ys 9. I did play the Resident Evil 8 demo. The 5 seconds of that it is. By the way, there's no other things. There's no other things you can do in that demo. It's get out of the cell, get an eyeball, go into this door, get a key, and then run away from the two ladies, or run away from the one lady and then get fucking Lady Deathstrike by the other.
And embrace your fate on the second.
I can't wait 6 years from now for you to be wrong about that and for people to find a secret.
I mean, to be fair, there probably is something, but I tried to open every single door that I saw, alright? And the only ones that would open were the ones I had keys for.
So you got the ring from the wine mug.
Got the ring from the wine mug, took out the eye, went into the door, grabbed the key from under the, I guess the little wine cellar thing. Not the wine cellar, but like room that had all the wine stuff. Read the note about the Dimitrescu family. Walked downstairs, heard the lady goes, "I'm watching you." And then walked to the door, and then Scarlet, I think it's Scarlet, the one that fucking flies out in bats or whatever. She comes after me. I don't know if I can dodge her at all, but you can take one bite from her and then and then run to the door. And then as soon as you go out the door, then fucking Lady Dimitrescu comes and Lady Death strikes you in the face.
Yay. Clap clap.
Yeah.
And then everyone was happy.
Yeah. So they are going to be releasing a PC demo and an Xbox demo and stuff. But I read, I don't know if it's still true or if it's just a rumor, that those demos would be different to the PS demo.
I feel like that probably will be, because I think they want to give people more to play before the game comes out. Because this feels a lot shorter than the RE7 demo. Because I think in the RE7 demo, you were still able to get a gun, weren't you? Like, because it was just you going into the first house in the RE7 demo. You were literally just playing like the first 10 minutes of the game. This one you didn't have anything. You had a bolt cutter, and that was it.
Yeah, for the door.
Yeah, and that I wasn't as afraid. Because vampires and all that don't really scare me that much as backwoods West Virginian type looking like dead stuff in a fucking pot, Silent Hill looking shit.
Friend, it's two different kinds of fear. One fear is based on movies and, trained reaction. These are things we should be afraid of. Also, I believe that crazy woman has a crescent blade. Versus, people like this actually exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RE7 felt more grounded, at least in the beginning. Because towards the end, it's not as grounded. RE7 feels more grounded and yeah, you could probably run into this at some point in time, something similar to this at some point in time in your life. RE8, on the other hand, gigantic 9-foot tall hot lady vampires, probably not as often.
It's fine. I mean, it's all back to the whole zombie thing.
Yeah.
In a sense, so that's cool with me.
But that was pretty good.
Yeah. I do hope that the other demos on the other platforms will show different tidbits of lore you can learn before the actual game.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I assume they will.
Yeah.
RE loves to throw around some documents that you can pick
Oh,
up
yeah.
and look at. That ran perfectly on the PS5, of course. What else? I played Ghost of Tsushima a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I played like a couple hours the past couple of days. For a game that's pretty much perfect on a last gen console, you wouldn't think that it would get better, but it does.
Excellent.
On my normal, because I have a normal 500 gigabyte, like one of the first round PS4s, all right? Ghost of Tsushima still ran at almost 60 for me, and was like pretty damn good and like colorful and like very pretty. On the PS5, it's like they took that and they were like, okay, well, how about we give you this option that makes the sunrise and sunset change what the land looks like, period. So like a sunset, if you there's an option, right, where you can have normal color contrast or whatever, and dramatic color contrast, all right?
Yes, there is.
And the dramatic color contrast is, I'll just give an example. During like a sunrise or sunset, one of those two, it makes the land look orange as fuck.
Yes, I like this.
It like I took pictures and I'll upload them onto Twitter. I took like screenshots on the PlayStation 5 and I'll upload them because I was just like, holy shit, this looks really good. It runs solid 60. The controller's like completely responsive, so like getting perfect parries is so easy. It just looks so good. All the animations are nice and fluid. Like when you're finishing a mission and like the name of the mission comes up and then it like scatters away into like petals or whatever. That's in like perfect fluid. Like honestly, probably above 60.
I want to play it. I want to play it so bad.
It's so good. And like I kick myself because I don't have a 4K monitor. I could easily get this in 4K if I had a 4K monitor because I just like changed the resolution 4K. And I'm pretty sure that has a PS5 patch, so it's not going to get any better than what it is now. But it's so good, and that's going to be the next game that I'm like going to go and complete since it's been almost a year since the game came out and I haven't even beat it yet. So yeah, if you are holding out on playing Ghost of Tsushima until you have a PS5, keep doing so because it's going to be perfect.
Or just buy it twice.
Oh no, you don't have to buy it twice. You buy it once for PS4 and you get a free upgrade.
That's right.
Yeah, most games on the PlayStation that if you have it on the PS4 and you get a PS5, you get a free upgrade. Most of them, that is. Now, there are some games that are being specifically made for PS5 that are already on the PS4, like the Spider-Man game. They actually like remade the 2018 Spider-Man to be for the PS5, so you actually have to buy that one outright.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Oh, so played the Outriders demo this week as well.
Yeah, I've been seeing things about this.
That game's actually really fun.
Okay, that's not what I had been seeing about this. That's good to hear.
Really? Because like I've only been seeing Outriders has been fairly like positive.
We travel in different circles, it seems.
Yeah, you travel in the negative side of the internet.
I do. The closest thing to a positive review I saw was Skillup, who was admittedly still pretty negative, but overall felt good things about it. A lot of the folks that I saw who played it or there are people who play other games of the genre.
Mm-hmm.
Borderlands, Destiny. I guess to make the comparison, they also played Gears of War. and a lot they all kind of said the same thing, which was the game is good, doesn't excel like amazingly anywhere, but it is good and finished.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't actually like the story-centric approach, which happens when you play shooters. I can see why that's potentially the
fair.
case. Some other people, I mean, they've been playing so many other shooters. Apparently, this game's gunplay is passable, but nothing special, which I think...
If you've played Gears, you've played this game.
That's the last thing, is that everyone who played Gears just said, I'd rather just play Gears.
I don't know if I agree. I mean, no, I don't agree with that.
Again, I can't say I haven't played it. I only know what I've looked at, and the game. Like I said when we first were talking about it, I have been very unimpressed with this game visually.
Oh yeah,
but
no,
it's boring as shit. It looks like it came from the generation where everything was brown. It's not good, but if it plays good and it feels good to play with people, I mean, I played Destiny, and that's got a shit story.
So, what you should do, Dalit, download it on Steam.
Yeah. Actually, there's a demo. That's right. Yeah, there is a demo.
It's cross play, so I can play with you even though I'm on the PS5.
Ooh.
So.
That's actually good. You
guys and Leak, you could do it too because it's on PS4.
I can play.
Yeah. So
there is crossplay.
We can play. You guys want?
Yeah, it's a 1 to 3 play, right? There you go. We got a squad.
Yeah, now that the semester is over, I have time now until I rip apart my room in this week. But still, I have time.
So yeah, this is our homework for next week.
If you guys wanna try it out, I think the game's pretty all right. Like I mean, like again, it's nothing exceptional.
Sure.
It's good that this is like a demo or a beta, and it's good that they pushed it back because there are some janks with the cutscenes, like repeating lines and stuff, like repeating audios when it's not supposed to be there. Of like at the end of sentences where it'll be like, "We got to get out of here," and then like 2 seconds later, "We got to get out of here," but it's not actually part of like the line. So I think this is actually an early build of the game. It's probably not as fully fleshed out as what the game's supposed to be. But again, I mean, it was delayed until like April 1st. So I think the game's pretty fun. Like I said, if you played Gears, you pretty much played how this game plays out. There's a bit of a like gameplay difference in it. Mainly because you get powers, because you get to pick like a class. I haven't played with anybody yet. I've only done like half of the story. Them is actually pretty big. Like the story element of it, you get to play the prologue and the first chapter, and it's pretty long. Like I put like 3 hours, like almost 3 hours into it, and I'm still not finished the story.
Yeah.
So I mean, I enjoyed it. It runs really well on the PlayStation 5, like 60.
I'll tell you what, the one thing I would like to hear your opinions on, because it's the one thing that literally no one had anything bad to say about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little surprised, because again, visually, I'm unimpressed. The loot. Apparently...
the loot's actually really good.
It may not look great. The loot as an idea and how it affects the character was super good, apparently.
There's not many visual differences between some of the guns or whatever, because it's all like... there's supposed to be a correlation between like this game and like looks of like World War I and World War II-ish stuff, but like more modernized or whatever. There's a map in the game that actually is supposed to like resemble World War II trench warfare.
Huh.
So it's supposed to draw from that. The guns don't look very different from each other. They're all like brown and like black and all that stuff. But they do affect your character in lots of ways. Like the higher tier guns you get will have different abilities or different different stats that affect your character in like really important ways. And so I think that's the main important part for a game that's like a looter shooter. And
I agree.
And they're doing that pretty well. So, like I said, it's nothing like, oh my god, Outriders is going to be like the greatest game and the greatest looter shooter, but I think it's probably going to be better than Destiny. And the better part, it's not a game that's a Surface game.
Well, that's the one thing that makes me think that even with the positive reviews, I don't think this can be better than Destiny. I have no great love for Destiny nowadays, but isn't its biggest like drawing point now that every month or so there's something new to do?
Okay. Maybe, I guess, but that is also overshadowed with the fact that it's being controlled by like a developer that doesn't know what it's wanting to do with the game.
Oh, I think it knows what it wants to do. I think it's just working really slowly, which is sensible for them and just horrendous for the players.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Outriders does kind of appeal more to people like, I guess, me. I would much rather a Borderlands-esque experience.
Yeah, because that's all Borderlands is. It's the full game
Exactly.
of what you buy. You buy the $60 game, you get the game. They don't have really anything planned. They might do like a DLC something sometime down the road, but they're not planning on doing it. I think they're gonna wait to see when the game comes out and see like all the stuff and see like, okay, maybe we can add a few things to it or whatever. But like it's not like a game where you're like, oh, you get this and then like it's gonna leave it off and you don't get like the actual like second half of the game somewhere down the road and you need a season pass for it or anything like that. You're buying a full game, and that's the most important part. And I feel like it's probably going to be a good game, at least for like your first play and maybe a couple of like replays with friends. And I think that's the most important part about Outriders. So I enjoyed it.
Well,
and you guys download it.
Thing.
Yeah, you guys download it, and we'll play.
Yeah. We'll see for ourselves.
What else did I play? Right. I played and beat Astro's Playroom.
Yes.
That is probably the best built-in game you could ever fucking make for a system. It is a really good platformer. Yeah. It is a really good platformer, alright? And it's a really great tech demo for the fucking DualSense controllers. It is ridiculous of how... It's actually ridiculous how much technology is built into these controllers. Because there's just so much... There's just so much to like what goes on in Astro's Playroom that like directly connect. So like the first thing you have to do is that you have to swipe up on your pad to shoot Astro out of the controller that's in the game. And you walk around and you're in this big hub room, all right, with portals to like different different things that are like part of the PS5. So like this game is pretty much like this is what's going on inside your PS5. All right, it's pretty much what they're like getting at here. And so like you go through this one portal into the SSD Speedway where they have this actually really cool music where occasionally in the background you'll hear like a mechanical voice going SSD.
Very good.
It's pretty funny, but it's like it's a 3D platformer. It makes you use the all the technology that's in the controller to its fullest. So it showcases the haptic feedback. It showcases the motion controls with it. It showcases the microphone, which you have to like blow into it to make stuff like a fun little spin. It showcases using the touchpad. It showcases the adaptive triggers, which is actually probably, I think, right next to the haptic feedback is probably the most impressive thing that I had to feel like while playing with this controller.
Cool.
So I was always wondering how much like how much pressure it would make you use for the triggers, because they're like, oh, it's adaptive triggers, you know, they'll have different pressure points or whatever. It's so weird because I've never had a controller like physically fight me back on trying to push the triggers down.
Oh, really? That's awesome. I was wondering how far they would go with that kind of thing.
Yo, no, it like you have to put pressure, like you have to squeeze to do some of the stuff in the game in that game. So there's one where Astro's in a in like a spaceship type thing, and you can press down lightly and it will like give a little bit of like thrusters, but you have to like press down super hard to get full thrusters. And like you can just feel like the resistance and the tension like back at it. You get a bow that you have to, or like a bow and arrow that you have, and there's like so much pressure. There's this one climbing mini game where you have to like keep moving your controller back and forth while you're like using the triggers as well, because if you when you tilt your controller, the suit that Astro's in reaches up, and then you have to hit the controller to grab the rock. And then there are rocks that are connected to like really fragile parts of like the wall that you have to press the trigger very lightly to actually grab onto the rock, because if you press on it too hard, they'll grab the rock, but it'll break away.
Whoa.
So, not to be cynical about this,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm going to be cynical about this. How many uses of something that intense before you accidentally break it, realistically speaking?
I'm not sure, because these controllers feel like they're extremely well made. Like, I mean, like, it feels like so it's not like you have to use your muscle to squeeze the controller to squeeze the trigger to do that. You could just feel it to where you'd have to apply more pressure than you would in a video game.
Yeah, no, I understand this, but I was immediately struck with the thought, all buttons come with a lifetime press count.
Mm-hmm.
Having it futzed with from both sides could adjust that.
Yeah. So I kind of think of it this way. Okay, so what is the first part of the controller that usually breaks? Any controller.
I'm assuming your answer is going to be the joystick.
That my answer is going to be the joysticks, right?
My answer is actually
analog,
not. Yeah, my answer is actually not that.
What's your answer?
I usually wear out one of the face buttons first.
That's fair, actually. My X button usually goes out the first.
Yeah.
But the joysticks are usually right after it.
That is fair. I should think so.
I've never had a trigger break.
That's a good point, actually. I don't think I've ever had one of the shoulder buttons go out on anything. Nope, that's not true. I've had one shoulder button go out.
Managed to wear out the D-pad at one point.
Yeah, deep face and analog usually goes out the quickest. I think on my PS2, I had my L1 fuck with me a little bit, but that's about it.
I did, yeah, that was the one that I remembered. My original PS2 controller, I lost the R1 button on it. But that was years and years after the fact.
So my answer is going to be no. I don't really have a worry about these triggers.
That's good. I mean, a lot of people have gotten hands-on with this equipment. Naturally, I haven't gotten anywhere near one. Yeah. And I knew that it was hefty and firm, but I didn't actually know if it was any more well built.
Yeah, it's like I don't. I have a PS4 controller and a PS5 controller in my hand right now. All right, PS4 controller feels so plasticky. Like it feels like if I threw it against a wall, it would break. All right.
Oof! And here I am still using a PS3 controller for my PC.
And that's even worse.
Yeah, sure is.
PS5 controller, I feel like I could probably throw it against the wall a couple of times and it not break. So, I think a lot of money and a lot of tech, like a lot of like making sure this thing is like not gonna be broken really easily, went into this. So,
Yes. And for the benefit of the audio, please don't do that at home.
oh yeah, Dad, don't.
Please
even if
don't
you're
do
mad
that.
at even if you're mad at Colossus number 15 in Shadow of the Colossus, all right.
It really wasn't that bad.
I threw my PS3 controller.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Astro's Playroom. Actually, there's one bit about Astro's Playroom I really want to talk about. So after you beat the 4 sections of the PlayStation 5, you get you open up this like final area where you fight a T-Rex, all right? You fight like a kind of like robot-ish T-Rex or whatever. Or no, actually, you fight a normal T-Rex, right? And this T-Rex, like, it'll chomp down onto the platform, and like you have to jump over AOE's and all that stuff. And then after you beat him, he turns into a mechanical T-Rex, and you have to fight the mechanical T-Rex. This Astro's Playroom felt more AAA than a lot of AAA games that I've
Well, I
played.
am going to remind you. Technically, it is. People throw around the word indie and kind of forget what it means.
Well, okay, so to be fair, the game's made by Sony Japan Studios and Team Asobi, but I just mean like if companies put like this much effort into a game that's just a tech demo, if they put it into like actual AAA video games that are supposed to actually be AAA video games.
If those developers make a game, possibly. The other developers don't have to.
Well, yeah. But I'm just saying.
It'd be nice if they did, though.
I wish developers would take as much like time to put as much love as I felt that was in Astro's Playroom, because this game feels like I beat this game in like 2 hours, if that. All right. Now there's more stuff I can do because there's a little time trial stuff that you can do in the game that gives you like different maps. But it feels, I don't know, man. You guys just have to play it to really understand.
Oh yeah, no, I've been following like it as well, and I'm excited to be able to experience it firsthand, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried, honestly, because if we look at past consoles, like compare games when the console first came out versus the games that were appearing at the very end of the console's lifetime, you know, the way the devs used the technology got better and better. So
Yeah.
I'm actually really looking forward to PS5 games in the future, rather than not so much the ones coming out now. Even though I'm looking forward to that as well, of course. But seeing what they will do in the future is what is interesting me.
Mm-hmm. I want to get Call of Duty for the PlayStation 5, like the newest one, because apparently they use the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers for the PS5 version as well. And I feel like a lot of, because like obviously there's not that many PS5 only games out right now. So once more of those games that are not being like that are being cross-gen start coming out, we'll start seeing a lot more uses of the DualSense technology.
For sure, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
I see this being used really well in horror games.
Oh, don't even.
I see it.
Don't even.
Yeah, I'm gone there. I see this being used, in like any adventure or roleplay game. I could see various uses for that. And you mentioned Call of Duty as well. You know, any FPS and stuff like that game.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'd be interested in games very specifically based around it. You've mentioned horror. I still want to see, and it's probably less appropriate here than it is on the Switch, but man, a Fatal Frame game like this would be pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and just
but
speaking
a game like
I was like, just speaking like, there's like a lot of grass in Astro's Playroom that you have to walk through or whatever. You feel all of that. Like you feel Astro walking through grass in your hands. Yeah. Like the way the vibration technology that's in this game makes it feel really good.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's all. Go ahead and tell it.
Oh, no. I was just thinking, like, yeah, no, there are certain games I'm looking forward to see what they do with this technology. I think you and I separate a bit as if this was in Call of Duty. For the campaign, yeah, absolutely, that'd be really cool. I wouldn't want that anywhere near my multiplayer.
It's not that if it's in Call of Duty, it is in Call of Duty. It's in the new Call of Duty.
I would like that. Like, I would like the feature in the campaign. I wouldn't personally want that anywhere near.
I think it's just at least with the haptic feedback, you just feel different vibrations in each gun that you shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they use the adaptive triggers as much. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I have to play it to really know.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing what games just are specialty made for this. I find again, to play the cynic, I don't really think that in a couple of months or next year most developers are going to care for this. I think they're going to treat it much like the 6-axis was in, I think, way back on the PS3, PS4, one of them.
Yeah, 6-axis was PS3.
Where it was there. It was in all the launch titles, and then it disappeared because no one liked it. Well, because it was being used in the same 3 ways, and it was a gimmick. This feels a bit stronger than that. I think this has the potential to have like games based around it as a feature. But I do want this to be like a core idea behind that development. I don't want the development to be shifted to make room for it, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, no. I feel like the games that are being created specifically for the PS5 right now might opt out on not using as much of the controller, but I think later on games will be like, well, we have like this certain set of stuff that's in this game, and we can actually tie this to the controllers a bit. I don't feel like there's going to be much motion control stuff in the game. I think everything's going to be pretty much on the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers. Because like motion controls is like for those games that are like Astro's Playroom and stuff like that. I don't think you're going to be using it that much. Maybe some 3D platformers will probably use a lot of it. And that's probably where you'll see DualSense probably thrive in is 3D platformers or 2D platformers.
Yeah. I should also mention that one of the things Sony was getting real good at the end of the PS4 lifespan was accessibility. And I'm wondering if there'll be any way to incorporate this into that.
Oh, yeah, I didn't actually think about that. Because the game could probably vibrate a little bit, like vibrate in certain ways if you're getting close to a wall or something to help people that are not very good at seeing.
Now, like this is a small thing because I do think that Square that Sony needs to go the Microsoft route and just make specialty controllers. They just do.
Yeah.
But this would be like a nice middle ground.
Mm-hmm. That's like all I played though this week, and I say that's all I. Well, actually, that's all I lied. I downloaded Genshin Impact just to see what it looked like on the PS5. Looks a hell of a lot better than it actually runs a hell of a lot better than it did even on my PC.
Ooh,
so,
wow.
Though I probably won't play it because I technically have to start a new file. Cause
yeah, Sony still doesn't want to play nice with everyone yet.
No. Yeah, but that's all I played. So, I think I can get past this whole PS5 thing, which I won't because I'll talk more about it next week. we need to move on to the news because the news is very, very lengthy this week.
Yeah.
Like, so much shit came out this week, and it's not even funny. This first bit is going to sad leak a little bit. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is delayed indefinitely because it is switching main developers, and pretty much everything that they're making is probably going into the trash can.
Yep. I'm sad.
I'm
You
sorry,
are right.
Leak. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm playing a tiny fiddle now.
Yeah, this game's went through a lot of shit because I think after the first game, and the gameplay of the first game didn't do too well, but everybody liked the story. But then they canned the writer for the game, got a new writer, then canned that writer for the game.
Yeah.
Then delayed the game, and then now they're swapping developers entirely. So this game's in probably one of the worst development healths that pretty much any game's been in.
I mean, it's happened. There is a chance, a small chance for sure, that it would still produce a game at the end of all this. I mean, there have been developments in the past that have changed who is making it and still come out. Like, is it remake? Final Fantasy remake?
Yeah.
Yeah, that changed developers at one point.
Same with Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
Yeah. So there is a small chance.
Yeah.
But then again, there's
2023.
a lot of mess.
2023.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. There is a lot of mess attached to this, though, so
Yeah.
I'm not really gonna hold my breath.
Fingers crossed for Final Fantasy Remake and not Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh, well, I mean,
Yeah.
we've already seen the success of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think it's in good hands. I think they're going to be fine. It's just going to take forever.
Later.
Yeah. GameStop CFO Jim Bell is resigning, taking all that GameStop stock and getting the fuck out of there.
Yeah, he's cashing out. Like, yeah, okay, cool.
I mean, that's not really big news, though. I mean, CFO's coming, they go. So it's nothing really indicative of the company itself.
We don't even know if it's even related to the whole like GameStop recent stuff.
Nah,
Which is he might
probably
be
not.
planning this already. You know.
Yeah.
Like how unfortunate is this? This man's been planning his retirement for some 10 to 20 years. Finally sees his opportunity, and then this happens.
Yeah.
Now
He's
he
like-
looks sketchy as all get out.
He's like, oh my god, I had like 12,000 shares in GameStop, and it's so low. And then like wake up one day, it's at 400, and he's like, sell.
Okay, guys, I made it. The company wasn't bankrupted under my leadership. This is now someone else's problem. Enjoy.
But yeah, so he resigns, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't think GameStop's going to die in general, fully. I still think there's a lot of demand for GameStop, and like,
I don't know, man. With Amazon, like Amazon essentially just killed Fry's, which probably doesn't mean anything to you two.
no, Fry's was never. Fry's is not like the whole nationwide chain.
Yes, exactly. And that is the difference.
Yeah.
But I mean, Amazon has run out other businesses too. Like, and if there's a company that's going to be the death of GameStop, it's gonna be Amazon.
Yeah.
Didn't we put like Microsoft was doing a deal with them as well?
Yeah, Microsoft has
That was
like
a
some
long
deals
time
with.
ago.
So yeah, they were getting like GameStop was probably getting some very small amount for a very particular way they were selling
Yeah.
a console, no doubt. But if I recall, there were many Wall Street people, which in hindsight is hilarious,
Yeah.
saying, "Yeah, this probably doesn't account for much." So I
Yeah.
wouldn't read too much into it.
Exactly right. This is where I'm giggling at.
Yeah, I hadn't
that's
considered
true.
that. At this point.
Yeah. Next on a bit of tragic news, actually, a female Call of Duty mobile esports player, Soul, was murdered by a male Call of Duty mobile esports player, Flashlight, in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The investigation just showed that he premeditated this murder, recorded it, and actually showed it to some of his friends.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
I did
sick.
some research on this. This guy was not in a good space, and I don't mean that to defend him. I mean like he was actually very like he's mentally disturbed.
Yeah.
He had plans to kill. I don't even think specifically he had particular plans to kill this girl. I think he had plans to kill anyone at the time. He had a book out wherein he said, yeah, he was going to set fire to a bunch of people, and that there was a certain amount of people he wanted to kill in his lifetime. It's gross. It's disgusting.
Fucked up. Heart goes out for that female's for Soul's family, and it goes to show you that maybe you can't like, and not everybody's in a good headspace, and yeah.
Yeah.
In other news, Anthem 2.0 is canned. Next.
I mean, like, this comes as no surprise. I will grant you there was a foundation that maybe something could have been built upon. But anyone paying any attention to that game could have told you that this was the inevitable outcome.
I had hope that they would try to fix it, because, I mean, I see games like No Man's Sky, and I see games like Final Fantasy XIV that turned around their completely shitty dev cycle and were made into really good games. Alright? And I actually liked the premise of Anthem. And I really wanted Anthem to work.
Same.
But I feel like this is probably the best choice they could have made.
I think a lot of things are finally being understood by that team and everyone surrounding them. And it's a story we'll get onto a bit later, I believe, in regards
it's right
to
next to
Dragon
it.
Age.
It's right next to it, actually.
Okay, good. Well, then,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll lead into that. Like seeing this and understanding the concept that live services are inherently failures waiting to happen, because, and hear me out, everyone wants everyone to play their live service, but only one can win.
Yep.
If there's all these forever games, people can only choose one. I mean, maybe some people balance two, but more often than not, you're playing a very dangerous game if you're hoping for 10 years down the line to still be working on this. And I mean, a lot of people plan 10 years ahead without any of the groundwork.
Yeah, and people are kind of sick of live service style monetization strategies as well. So, you can make a multiplayer style game and not have live service style setup. Like, for example, Left 4 Dead versus Red Dead Redemption. Like the latter, Red Dead had season passes and stuff, and Left 4 Dead had none of that.
Well, a lot of people actually play Red Dead Online. Unfortunately, I don't know. I apparently hear Red Dead Online's really good.
I will do you one better to your point, though, Lee. I think there was never really a demand for live service games. I think that purely came because people saw the success of MMOs and said, what if we did that without the care and attention? And then Destiny did that without the care and attention. Everyone's like, oh shit, it can work.
There was a golden age for that. There was a golden age.
And I'll have you know, at no point did this golden age last 10 years. That has always been a lie.
The golden age was Taken King to the end of Destiny 1.
And let's before you go on, I'm going to point something out to you. That is not Taken King. For those who don't know, it's not the beginning of Destiny.
No, it's not.
Like this series goes awful opening, maybe something all right as a appetite tease, a lot of shit. Then boom, finally they get their act together, and then they announce the next game that we weren't supposed to get for 10 years,
and then they fucked it up.
and then they immediately screw up, and we hear the cycle repeats itself.
Yeah. So
Like, and Destiny is the best example of a successful version because that's not that's just an MMO.
Mm-hmm.
Like these other live service games, just what are they supposed to do by comparison? Have like new gear once every 3 months? Ooh, the grind.
Hey man, 14 does that.
Yeah, but 14 also drops like a raid with it,
Yeah, true.
like a meaningful raid, not just. And now we've cordoned off this section of this house. I'm mostly thinking of the Division, and I hear the Division did well, but I thought
I hear Division 2 is actually really good.
yeah.
All right. Well, going back to Dragon Age, then, do you see it working as a live service type game? I mean,
No.
they wanted
No.
to do some sort of multiplayer. Yeah.
No, we
this is
don't.
what-
Yeah, we definitely don't see it, and we're never ever going to see it
right.
because they're taking it out.
Thankfully, they've seen reason, and the failure now of Anthem has put the fear of developer Jesus into them, and they're just going, what if we didn't? What if we just made?
Oh.
What if we just made a Dragon Age?
And the success of Jedi Fallen Order.
I'm
Yes.
sorry, and the success of other surrounding single-player games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's Jedi Fallen Order sold 10 million copies.
More than anyone could expect.
Yeah. And EA's like, oh, maybe we can make single-player games.
Maybe this obscene, ridiculous idea that single-player games cannot be profitable was, and ever shall be wrong.
Yeah. So to cut through all of this, Dragon Age, the new Dragon Age that's supposed to come out, Dragon Age 4 or whatever it's going to be called. A couple years ago, it was actually being reworked into a games as a service game, and now since they canned Anthem Next and they saw the success of Jedi Fallen Order, they have backed out on that, and EA is now allowing BioWare to make the new Dragon Age game as a single-player game and not as a games as a service. So maybe Dragon Age 4 will be a good game. Looking back at the other Dragon Age games, I still don't have much of a hope for that, but who knows? I know Dalit over there like looking at me like, I like some of the Dragon Age games.
I do. I don't understand. I like one and I like two less, but I also like two. I think they're fine.
I don't know. I'm not a fan, to say the least.
I like it. I like the setting, the world building and that kind of thing.
I like that. I don't like the gameplay. The gameplay is really weird to me. And then I also don't like. I really hate BioWare's choice mechanics because they're all really stunted. They don't feel like they actually make a difference.
They were really nice at the time, and then they never really did anything to them. So I'll give you that. They could have done something to make them more interesting, or just make them innate to gameplay. It's the same thing they've done from the first time they was introduced to us. So.
Yeah, like KOTOR 1, Mass Effect 1 and 2 were the only games that like made me feel like doing certain choices actually made a difference. Mass Effect 3 doesn't count because while that game is okay up until the end, no choice in that game made any difference.
I mean, again, call me cynic, but I feel like that's usually the case. Like, your choices can only affect a game so much. I have never understood using that as a selling point and people actually buying into that. Like, I know in a long-running series, it's something that can be touted. Something like Mass Effect, where you lose people, but there's another game coming afterwards. But for a game with no sequel, or at least no sequel announced, I've never been compelled by that, because it never feels like my choices have actual meaning. They're never going to kill an important character that is like actually important to my game, and it's usually just romance.
Yeah, I mean most. I feel like the single. I feel like the single games, like the ones that don't have sequels or whatever, actually normally have the better options of like choice because you can end up doing a bunch of multiple endings in a single player in not single player but like in a one game series than you can do in multiple games.
That might be true, but I am struggling to think of a game where it actually
Nier.
matters. Go on.
Nier Automata. You have like 26 endings.
You have 3 endings.
Well,
You have 20. You have 23 fail states.
okay, there's still endings.
Actually, let me rephrase. You have 2 endings. 1 ending that's not a real ending. Spoilers, sorry. And 23 fail states.
Hey,
And one that deletes your file.
yeah, those are still endings.
Yeah, but they're not built off the choices you make. They are different endings. This I will grant you.
They're built on the
There are 2
choices you make
choices
in the game.
to be made, and it's do you play as 9S or A2 at the end?
See,
That's it.
I haven't
That's
I
it.
haven't
That's
even
the
gotten
only one.
I haven't even gotten through 9S's storyline in Nier. I just know there's
That's it. You can get any other ending with any character. There are no decisions. There is maybe a decision with who's that adorable bot that has all the pacifists? Pascal. But even then, it's not a case that like affects your progress. It's just do they continue to be in the game, or does their story end this other way?
Final Fantasy 13-2 had a bunch of choices
Again,
that ended the games.
I feel like you're conflating possible endings with meaningful decision making.
Oh, yeah, man.
The only game I have ever in my life played wherein I felt the decision making actually really had an impact was D&D.
I mean,
Exactly, because that can be adjusted on the fly. A video
Yes.
game can't, and that's fair. And it's why I don't care about this, because I recognize that this is something that is outside of their possible development.
it's outside of BioWare's possible development time.
I think it's just not something that can be done meaningfully. Period.
It's
I don't
very
even think
difficult.
I don't
Yeah.
even think
It's very
Baldur's Gate could do
difficult.
it, and that's actually just D&D.
Like, here's the thing. So, have you ever tried reading those adventure books, as in choose your own adventure books?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have multiple endings
Goosebumps.
of that. Yeah, yeah. And just imagine how tricky it is to write all those threads of story that could possibly be taken. And then trying to implement that into a video game. You have to make so many different assets, you have to get so many different lines recorded and that kind of thing. It will take so long. And I'd imagine cost lots of money too. So I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
why it hasn't really happened yet.
Yeah, exactly. I think the closest I've gotten to it in a video game sense is Dishonored, where the decision wasn't conversational. It was, do I kill this guy or not? Because potentially this world's getting fucked.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's another one, but I just can't think of it at the moment.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
I was
but-
gonna joke blurt out Fable, but then I was like, no, that'd be silly. Chicken Chaser. I just want an excuse to
Chaser?
say Chicken Chaser again.
Well, I mean, Fable did have a couple of good like things that you could choose, but in the end, it ended up being you were either a good guy or a bad guy. I mean, in the end, you still had to kill Jack of Blades. You still had to kill.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
technically the same ending. So
Yeah. It's just whether if you were an evil guy killing an evil guy or a good guy killing an evil guy.
I should state, I like these fake options. Unlike a lot of people, I genuinely enjoy, for a moment, pretending like it matters. I genuinely do.
I think the pinnacle of it was Mass Effect because I felt because obviously you had people dying
Yeah,
depending on your choices.
I think that's one of the. There you go. That was the one. I think that's a genuinely good example because I know in the first game, there's a choice that in that game doesn't really matter. You choose between 2 people, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then they don't come back with like literally everyone else in the sequel.
Yeah.
And again, I from what I understand, they're not really like neither of them are really important, but it's the closest to that idea you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's a different idea. Yeah, no, the only time like something like that matters is Fire Emblem, and that's just because they fucking died. There's no choice there. It's just you suck, mate.
There is like games like Romancing Saga. When the character dies, they die, and that's it forever.
I mean, that's how it is
Yeah.
with Fable.
Yeah.
Or not
With
Fable,
older-
with Fire Emblem.
With
Yeah.
older
Yeah,
Fire
yeah.
Emblem games, I hear that's
Yeah.
not the case anymore.
No, you can still play like that in Three Houses. There's an option you can choose that you can play in the mode where if somebody dies in Three Houses, they're dead.
Or just be me and make sure that you never put anyone you care about in a position where they.
Yeah, just play with all the characters you hate. Anyway, we went on off a huge tangent here. Next, which came out today, Elden Ring trailer leaked today. Did you at least watch that, Dalit, or like watch like the leaked clips of it?
Well, I mean, for what was there, I'm really happy someone was able to affix a lens to a potato.
Yeah.
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 I did, a leak as a person you could have asked to. Hi.
Oh yeah, true.
I'm here as well.
And sometimes I don't know if you click on links or not.
We are not one person.
We are not legion.
No, we are not.
Leaction.
Legion. Yeah,
I
but no, I
immediately
did.
regret this decision.
Yeah, I did a glimpse.
There was like a
I don't know.
small bit of gameplay in one of those trailers, and I was like, I was excited there for a second, but it's a potato on a potato, so.
I'm genuinely like, and I mean this. I am surprised this game exists. I just thought they were fucking with us for a while. I at first I was like, oh cool, George R.R. Martin did the world building for this and not the writing. That means it's going to come out.
Yeah.
And then I was wrong. So.
Yeah, was it the announcement from 2019 E3 or something along the lines of the game takes place in a world created in collaboration with the Song and Ice and Fire George R.R. Martin, like you just said. And then director is Hidetaka Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He's
from
the
Miyazaki.
from Software guy.
Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Sekiro.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, Leek, from what you saw, what did you think about it?
I saw a dragon. That was cool. I like dragons.
That's right. They're playing to your interests.
I saw a dragon. I like dragons.
And I also was reminded of Lord of the Rings, because yes, you must find the ring to become all powerful.
The Elden Ring.
I'm not going to say that you trying to find the Elden Ring's a good idea, but it's probably not a good idea.
Yes. I'm not going to stop you. Oh, you already walked off. Oh, wow.
I mean, there's leaked trailer, so it might exist. It could just be vaporware.
At one point or another, it's existed. I'm really happy that whoever was able to sneak in thought to bring their old flip phone from 2002. So
yeah,
good on you, mate.
When are they gonna?
Appreciate you.
I hope they release this trailer soon so I can actually look at it.
There's rumors floating around that it's the reason why this was able to be leaked is because it's going to appear in some Microsoft show in March at some time.
Yeah.
But I don't know of any Microsoft shows in March sometime.
It might have been E3 and
pity about that.
Yeah. I mean, Microsoft doesn't actually announce their plans for their shows. They're it's usually a week out. Like, hey, we're gonna do kind of like what Sony did with their State of Play. Like 3 days ago, they were like, or not 3 days ago, but like 3 days before the State of Play came out, they were like, hey, we're doing a State of Play on Thursday, and everybody's like, oh yeah, hey, State of Play, yeah, let's go, yeah, cool, yeah. So maybe sometime this month, Microsoft will be like, oh guys, by the way, we're doing an Elden Ring Microsoft presentation.
So, follow-up stupid question: does Microsoft do online presentations, or do they just drop content?
They do
right now.
They do.
They do?
Yeah.
For the life of me, I'm trying to.
They
like,
did
Nintendo
a
has
few
the
last.
Direct.
They did a few last summer.
Or standalone ones?
Yeah, it was
Standard.
like where they showed
Can't
like
talk.
three games.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the there's that one presentation that they showed Fable at the end.
Mm.
So
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah, they're usually pretty shitty. So maybe this one will be like an actual like state of play style where it's just about one game, or maybe like a direct style where it's just about one game. Who knows? But it's nice to see Elden Ring isn't a full vaporware, and there's a version of a trailer that exists somewhere that we'll might be able to see at some point in time. Next is a bit of comedy news. The head of Amazon Luna leaves.
Oh no! I had such hopes for Luna after Stadia.
I have no hopes for any cloud-based service gaming. Art, the United States aside, the world doesn't. I don't think the world has the internet structure to do it.
I think there's I think most of the EU could probably handle it. Actually.
Yeah, because they don't have caps.
Yep. As a matter of fact.
all of America couldn't do it. Hell,
Oh, you're absolutely right.
There's a stretch like a line stretch point in the middle of America where people don't even have internet.
Oh my gosh.
So I mean, it's like dumb. Like with Stadia, pretty much like leaving last week, and then the head of Amazon Luna. I don't think cloud-based gaming's gonna resurface for another 10 years, maybe. I think they like, and then I'm doing air quotes on this one, tried it, and they half-assed it, and don't even want to try again, because like all the companies that are doing these cloud-based gaming services are not gaming companies.
There is one exception to that.
Microsoft, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, Microsoft would be the only one that probably will do it pretty well.
I'm curious about something you said, though.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen in 10 years that's going to make this more viable?
Hopefully our internet structure is better.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you had that kind of optimism in you.
I said maybe. I said maybe. All right.
In America, you mean?
In America.
Yes, specifically in America.
Everybody knows
think it's-
American internet
Yeah.
is shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like I said,
guys.
this is not a problem in other places.
Only
The
outclassed.
other places are not 3,000 miles across.
It's only outclassed by Australian internet. All right. Australian internet is record-breaking bad. But
just love the
they're
meme.
also like an island continent, so
I love the meme of Australian.
I mean,
internet.
Japan's
People
doing
show-
alright. Britain's alright.
yeah.
And they're not, well, not continent granted, but...
But like the difference between like Japan and Australia is that Japan is really tech savvy or like tech oriented, while Australia is not. I mean, look, there's good bits of.
There's a lot that I
Japan.
will disagree with, but there is the internet is alright. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely. Computer game industry and film industry. Yeah,
yeah. A lot of
there are other things though.
Yeah, I mean, there's bits of Australia that is like the middle of the United States where there's just nothing there.
I see.
So-
I see. Granted, it's hard to live in certain places in Australia.
True. But yeah, head of Amazon Luna leaves. I'm not surprised, and I will see a bunch of other people leave too, because I don't like the services like Stadia and Luna. They're not being headed by companies that are in game development, so they're not gonna it's not gonna end up being good. Like Microsoft will probably come out with something that's halfway decent.
It shouldn't be forgotten though that this is actually really smart of these companies with that much money to throw away. Even if they fail, they're going in with the concept of, if we don't, we're gonna make so much money. And do you know what? They will. And I think it was stupid of Google to do it, because Google has a track record of A, not being very good at this, and B, not being willing to stick with a project that shows signs of failure. Amazon, however, I am actually interested to see how they task. This company makes more money than God. So, if there is a company that is not game oriented that would be willing to eat some losses to put my money on Amazon. That said, Amazon has shown an incredible amount of just inability to do gaming.
Yeah.
Just full stop.
Yeah.
So maybe this faith is misplaced.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's a little bit misplaced, because out of the 3 to 4 games that they were working on, only one of them actually is happening. And that's New World.
So wait, hold on. 2 of them have been flat out cancelled, and New World is actually looking kind of shaky.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah, who knows? This next bit of news, which I knew was going to happen, which is why I'm not touching the game, period, until it comes out for it. Monster Hunter Rise is coming out for PC until in 2022. I called that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Not touching it for Switch at all.
This is fair.
When's the Switch release?
Soon.
In a couple of days.
This month.
In a couple of days? Oh.
Okay. Monster Hunter Rise. I'm pretty sure it is. a couple of days.
26th. I'm sorry, it's a bit further out than that.
Not a couple of days, but a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I wasn't going to be able to get it for the Switch, but that wait still is a bit annoying.
Yeah,
it is rough, but this is something that had come up in those unfortunate leaks. So I think Aqua was correct to call this, and it was hard to argue with him. It seemed logical after the success of World that they would probably return to PC. So.
Yeah, especially after they said it only had a 9-month Switch exclusivity, and there was like maybe not PC, but I would have seen it go to other consoles a lot faster. But since they're just announcing it for PC like now.
Goodness. 9 months, it's not a year.
Yeah, it was a 9-month exclusivity. What?
That means Capcom's going to make bank at Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is it that? Oh, yeah. That's time for
yeah.
it, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's coming out 2022, so they'll make bank after Christmas.
Sorry. You said 9 months. I just went,
no.
What's 9 months from the 3rd month? The 12th month?
Yeah.
New Year money.
It'll probably come out in January.
Yes, pre-orders. That's a good call as well.
It'll probably come out in January. I'm actually going to call it. I think it's going to be January. Because I think they're probably already working on the PC version. They're just not going to be able to release it until then. Next, we had a Pokemon live stream happen where they showed off 3 new games.
3 new games?
Diamond and Pearl are 2 different games.
All right, fair enough.
They're doing a Diamond and Pearl remake, which is actually not being headed by Game Freak. It's actually being outsourced to another company. And that's to come out in later this year, 2021. And the reason why they're outsourcing it is because the main company of Game Freak is actually working on Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is an open world Pokemon game that is set in the feudal era of the Sinnoh region. And it looks like fucking Pokemon Skyrim is what it looked like. And it's it's slated for early 2022.
Pokemon Breath in the Wild.
Yeah, Pokemon of the Wild.
We're in the tall grass now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm actually
you sneak in the tall grass.
I'm actually pretty hyped for this because 10 years ago I was like, can I get a Skyrim but like Pokemon, please? And lo and behold, 10 years later.
God, I'm a fucking buzzkill. Yeah, no, I have no hype around Pokemon titles anymore.
No, okay, yeah.
I think I'm looking at this very critically. I imagine We're going to need to see a lot more information throughout this year before I can like even feel remotely anything for this. I'm more
Yeah.
interested in the remakes, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not really interested in them either. I'm a
Well,
Gen 1 boomer, so like,
Yeah.
my games are
oh,
are
apparently he's the only one. Okay. Hi. I'm older than you.
no, but that's not what I meant. Because there are a lot of
Uh,
people my age and older who do enjoy this. I don't use boomer just for the like age. I mean, like I am old man yells at cloud about this.
okay. Well,
Like it
let me
is
turn
not
up
the
the
kids,
positivity
it is
dial,
me.
shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just happy that Game Freak is breaking
Yes.
their formula.
Yes, that's the one thing I'm actually interested in, because on the trailer, you do see that they've changed it seems like, at least, they've changed around the way you battle with the Pokemon, because there's no screen change. You throw the Pokemon on the same screen, and you watch as them pop out on the same screen. And I'm not sure if this is like an auto battle type of thing. You manage the stats elsewhere before you send them out to battle, and then it just resolves by itself. Not quite sure about that, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
But
they
I'm
showed no
interested
HUD.
in. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're still
So,
clearly pretty early on in that regard. It would feel weird for this, I mean, let's call it what it is, RPG, to lose the RPG aspect, but maybe they could replace it with something else. I don't know what it would be yet, but maybe it
yeah.
would just go full on exploring. That would be a thing.
It would be a thing. Yeah, it's hard to guess so much right now, because we know what they're like in the past and how they've handled newish games in the past. So we don't know if we'll see a lot of repetitive stuff in this game,
Yeah.
because that's what they've done in the past. But there are glimpses of newish looking things or aspects to it, so we'll see. We'll just have to see.
Indeed.
Yeah. I'm just, like I said, I'm just happy that they're breaking them from their mold, because even with Pokemon like Go and Pokemon Let's Go, while they're kind of breaking away from how you play Pokemon, this looks like it's in a completely new direction. So I'm happy about that. And there are a lot of people that are like they're looking at the Diamond and Pearl remakes, and they're kind of like wincing at it because they're changing up the art style a little bit for the game.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop you there. People are wincing at that because when they, and this happens with every single remake, when they hear remake, they do not think this. They wanted Gen 3 in the style of Sword and Shield, which
Yeah.
admittedly I think is entirely fair.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with Dol on this one. Looking at the remake graphics for Pearl and Diamond,
They're a bit
bit
meh.
better, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could be better, but I think they're just they're doing it in a, like, I guess, a more updated version of the Diamond and Pearl style.
It
Art
looks
style,
like
yes.
it.
Yeah.
It looks like it, yes.
And again, this isn't main Game Freak working on it. This is actually another company actually developing this game.
I mean, I think it'll be fine in the long run. Let's be real here. For all the complaining that I'm willing to do, these games sell like
Oh yeah, God,
hotcakes.
yeah,
Moreover, people like this generation, I assume.
yeah,
So, like, nostalgia will be enough to drive this, and I think in so long as they add things, either new mons or a fun little thing to do on the side, I think it'll be fair enough just to experience the nostalgia again. If they could re-release Red again right now, they could re-release Blue right now, and I would buy it. I think Blue is the one with Vulpix.
yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Doesn't
I
matter.
played
The point
Yellow.
is,
I played
Gen
Yellow.
1. Yeah, so did everyone.
Yeah, that was alright. You had to keep the correct Team Rocket in it.
Yeah,
This is true. I played Red, Blue. I've technically played Green, Yellow, Silver, and Gold.
I played-
it, well,
Yeah.
I guess, and some of the new and Sword and Shield. I think I got Sword. I got Sword Doggo.
yeah. I played Blue because it was the easiest to glitch into getting like infinite.
Oh, is it
items.
called
Was the missing no?
Yeah, the missing no.
The
Yeah.
Missing No glitch
Yeah.
was easier on blue.
Yeah, Missing No is easier in blue.
Is it Mistopheles or something glitch? I can't remember what it's called. There's
Yeah.
a cool name to
It's
it.
called the Missing No.
Ah, yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, Pokemon's gonna sell. Like I said, I'm wanting to see more of Arceus. So
So, what did we think about Post Malone singing Hootie and the Blowfish to Fire Pokemon? Also, what did we think about him just being in that game and singing his songs uncensored?
I was surprised.
people are weird, man.
He doesn't really look like what Nintendo likes to ally themselves with, eh?
No.
And this is purely a
I'm-
shallow thing, because I know
Mm.
Post Malone is actually a giant teddy bear, but like visuals are important to companies, and he very much does not carry the Nintendo or Pokemon vibe to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is why I was surprised. Now, my question is: was this only released in America and Europe, etc.?
Oh, good question.
'Cause
I
I-
didn't even think about that.
Because I didn't see him advertised in Japan specifically, not for that. But I could have just missed it, and I'm just curious.
I have no idea.
Hmm.
I didn't really actually pay attention to the Post Malone thing because like they're just doing a bunch of like what is it 20th anniversary?
Yeah, because I'm not sure how known he is. You see, I don't think he's known in Japan, so that could be another thing.
Certainly that's not the case, right?
Really? I'm not sure.
I mean, then again, we don't count because to one degree or another, we're all kind of weebs. Like even Japan
Yeah, I
has
don't
some
keep
of
up with
their
I don't
bigger
keep up with
figures
the
come over
charts in
here.
Japan. Yeah, I don't keep up with the charts in Japan, so I can't answer this. I know Katy Perry, who was another celebrity, get pokerfied, shall I say?
Yeah. I think she's a little
they
bit known.
do know her a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do know her a bit more. She's, pretty
We've not
lady singing
seen
pop
her
songs.
Actual to do though, right? Like Post Malone came out with a concert essentially for Pokemon. We're still not sure what Katy Perry's doing. We know it's music related, but we don't know what it is yet, do we?
No, I don't know yet. Actually, I don't think other than her announced that she's a part of it. Nothing else has came out for it.
Oh, maybe actually I'll see. Maybe Katy Perry's for Japan.
That could be.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna quickly look. I know you keep talking.
Yeah, we can move on to
Yeah.
So this came out today. Forever Entertainment. They make Panzer. They made the Panzer Dragon remakes. They have reported that they have just went into contract with Square to make multiple remakes based on their IPs, which is apparently supposed to be from one certain series.
Oh, did they say I didn't read? Well, it's not going to be Chrono Trigger now.
I mean, it could be Chrono Trigger, because I mean,
Yeah,
you have Chrono Trigger and
Chrono Trigger and Chrono
Cross.
Cross. Yes, correct.
What makes you say they won't do that?
Because that would be nice and good.
I full-heartedly say that they're going to do Xenogears or Xenosaga. Just mainly because of the Xenosaga like rumor that they were making like a remake of 3. About like a year and a half ago to 2 years.
Wait, hold on. Who has actual rights to that? I
It's
I
weird.
think Monolith actually has rights to Xenosaga. Or do they just have rights to Cosmos?
I think they just have rights to Cosmos. Let's see, Xenosaga.
Huh. I'd be all for those games coming back. I know people love those games. I never played it. I literally only know Cosmos as a gaming icon.
I
guess?
think when the split happened between Monolith and Namco, I think Namco still holds the rights to Xenosaga.
Okay, so here's the only reason I bring this up.
So that's why
Namco-
it's not going to be Xenosaga.
Yeah, Bandai Namco games still will have like costumes for Xenosaga characters, especially Cosmos. but both Cosmos and Telos turned up in Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a Xenogears remake.
That's one that is just not up for debate as far as I'm aware. So.
Yeah, because that one's actually published by Square. And actually, that one's actually not even held by Monolith. That one's just developed and published by Square.
Well, I mean, they have options. The Saga games, Parasite Eve, which is, to be fair, my unironic thought is that it's just going to be the Parasite Eve games. Is Vagrant Story a Final Fantasy? I mean, but it's not. But that's not a series.
It's 12.
Chrono, Xenogears, Star.
Yeah, Vagrant Story is a Square game.
Yeah,
it is Square. It is Square, but it's not series.
Yes.
I think
No,
it did get
it's not. It's
folded.
a standalone. It is just standalone.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it
gonna be
retroactively got folded into Final Fantasy because it's an actual Evil East title.
That's right. That's right.
I think it's going to be Xenogears.
I
Yeah.
don't know this because I've never played the series, and you all were talking about it, but I didn't actually hear what you came to an agreement on if you did. Who does Star Ocean?
I'm pretty sure. So Tri-Ace developed Star Ocean.
There's lots of developers for it.
Yeah, there's
There's like co-developers.
Co-developed, but Tri-Ace is the primary developer on Star Ocean because the guy split off from doing. So the guy that started doing the the Tales series, he made Tales of Fantasia. All right, he split off from Tales of Fantasia, made Tri-Ace, and made Star Ocean 1.
Oh, okay. Wow, according to a lot of people's opinions, he split off and just started making worse games.
No.
Oh,
this is funny.
Star Ocean, I enjoy Tales games probably more than I enjoy Star Ocean games, but I still really enjoy Star Ocean games.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm just here to start fights.
I'll tell you. I'll start a fight right now. You ready?
Yeah.
Super Mario RPG was co-developed by Square.
Oh no, yeah, that is widely known, and is. If you ask people what their favorite Final Fantasy game is, some of them will unironically say Super
Mario RPG.
when they're not memeing and saying, "Oh, sorry, what's your favorite Square RPG?" Not Final Fantasy. That's a GDQ joke. What's your favorite Square-made RPG? Some people will unironically say Super Mario RPG.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
I want Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross to be it, but I don't think it will. I agree with Acro. It probably is most likely Xenogears.
Yeah. As to who owns Star Ocean, it is Tri-Ace.
I see it.
Yeah, because I'm on the actual wiki page for it.
Oh, Bahamut Lagoon. That's a really old one. Yeah, that's strictly Square as well. It's a tactical role-play game there, so I'm not sure if it would be that.
Yeah.
Imagine when we're all wrong and they come in and remake 5 and 6.
Oh my... Don't.
Yeah, don't get her hopes up. Don't get her hopes up. Yeah.
I don't think this is necessarily getting anyone's hopes up, because I genuinely want one of the Square teams to handle 6 myself. I don't want a game that's just a slightly better looking version of 6.
Wait, here's a question.
I want that fully remade.
Do we even still have like people that worked on 6 still working at Square?
Yes.
Because I know Sakaguchi's out of there. He's not even part of Square anymore. So, who else? I mean,
Do you actually care about people who worked on it, or do you just want like the bigger names attached?
No, I care about like people that work on it because like I mean we have people that worked on 10 that's working on 14. So like I don't know how many people are still like left that are still from that early 90s age.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I can't imagine everyone packed up and left by now.
Did Nomura do character design for 6?
He did concept, I believe.
Yeah, it's just concept.
Oh, no, I'm
No,
sorry.
sorry, no. Amano was the older games.
Okay.
He concepted one
Nomura,
character.
yeah, Nomura was I think was he on 6, but it was definitely 7 onward at least.
He was. He concepted, and I
Okay.
know this because it's Kingdom Hearts lore.
Ah,
The reason why
okay.
Setzer is the only Final Fantasy character
Yeah.
pre-7 is because that's the only character that Nomura worked on for
Ooh.
a pre-7 game.
Nomura worked on 4 as a debugger, which that's that's his first work on a Square game actually.
Yeah.
Welcome to the company.
Is he's a debugger for 4.
Yeah, QA, work your way up.
He did battle graphics, battle graphics design and monster designs for 5, and he did graphic. He was the graphics director, monster design, and character design for 6, specifically Setzer and Shadow.
Yeah.
Oh, and
okay.
Shadow as well, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So
Cool. I learned new things. Cool.
yeah.
But I don't know how many people are still there from the team. I assume there's still plenty of people that just, are they are the cogs that make the machine work. That are still at the company. I would be fine with giving the story to someone else to reimagine. I think in so long as it's a trustworthy writer and group of creative leads, it's fine. 6 is beloved, but it's not as... It wouldn't be as damning to the company if they got 6 wrong as they did with 7. So I think that they'd be open to taking some risk with it.
I mean, to be fair, we've already had our 6 remake anyway.
If you say Final Fantasy 14...
No, I was going to say 15.
Yeah. That's a pretty stark parallel. Fair enough.
Oh my gosh. Well, this new team has made Panzer Dragoon remake and stuff. So
yeah, so they've been working with them. I'm hoping for Xenogears. I didn't play original Xenogears, so a remake of an old game that I've never played would be pretty nice. Because maybe I'll go back and actually play original to compare. Probably won't because I have no time on my hands to do so. But yeah. We'll look forward to whatever they're going to announce, which I'm assuming since they came out with this contract, they might be announcing it pretty soon.
I mean, the big announcement season should be coming up.
Yeah.
Even with the potential for what we'll get to next, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Not being a thing, it seems that the company still realize that there's a certain time of the year that people expect a big drop. So I think you're probably onto something.
So yeah, this answered my question. Yes, Post Malone is advertised in Japan too.
Oh.
Hey, there we are.
There you go. Anyway, E3's canceled this year, so no E3 guys. There'll be things like that happen the same as last year, where a bunch of developers and publishers will come out with their own online showcases, but the E3 live event is not existent this year.
At least according to the state of California, which is pretty telling.
Yep. So there still might be like an online E3 event, like the Game Awards type-esque thing, but honestly, I think after all this, E3 is just not going to be a thing anymore. I think developers and publishers are going to make their own stuff because it's less money and it's easier for them to get the information out.
I mean, I agree with you, but apparently, according to a bunch of people I know, I'm wrong because it's nostalgic. So.
Who cares? Like, a lot of people, for this next bit of news, a lot of people were surprised about Sony Japan Studios getting canned-ish.
I have to admit, I was also a little surprised about this.
So, can you name a game that Sony Japan Studios didn't co-develop a game with anybody in the past 10 years?
Oh, they're not even allowed to co-develop? Shit, that makes this difficult.
Yeah. Co-developing co-developing doesn't count because all the other games that they helped co-develop it wasn't them actually. They were just helping. The primary developers have been the ones that actually came out with games. So like Blue Point with Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls.
Did they do Gravity Rush?
They did do Gravity Rush, and actually no, I think that's co-developed.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, to answer your question, until you put that requirement on it, I was good. Now, less so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
Co-developed with Project Siren and Blue Point Games.
Oh, Blue Point, of course it was.
Yeah.
God, they're so good.
Yeah. Yeah. No. The last game that Sony Japan Studios developed on their own, and I'm going to have to look this up because I was just looking at it before. The last game that they actually developed, holy crap, I think it was in 2008. No, White Knight Chronicles was co-developed with Level 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I, to some small degree, map out what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I just had maybe it was Ape not Ape Quest. Yeah, I think it was Ape Escape or Ape Quest.
Ape Escape. That's a new series. Oh gosh.
Anyway, they haven't made a game on their own for a good 13 years. They've all been co-developed. And so I think Sony's excuse was while the studio is profitable, they're not as profitable as they want them to be. They're letting most of their staff go, and the ones that remains are being absorbed into Team Asobi. Which
I'd imagine, since the industry in Japan is very small, the staff that are leaving will probably be the Eastwood snapped up immediately.
Oh yeah, immediately. And this is also kind of good because they also, Team Asobi was the people that were primarily the people behind Astro's Playroom.
So, hey, make a new Wild Arms game.
Hey, make a new Astro's Playroom.
Yeah. Just to clarify, by mean small, I mean a circle of people.
Yeah.
The network is small. There you go. That's right.
Yeah. I wasn't as surprised to hear this because usually when you see the Sony Japan Studios label, you always think, okay, who are they? Who are like? Oh, they're going to be good games behind this name, but it's always developed by somebody else.
No, I've actually never thought this, but that's a fair point.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they're being the people that are remaining are going to be absorbed by Team Asobi, and they'll go on to make
beautiful music together.
Beautiful music together, yeah. All right, so now we get into the big thing that happened this week: the PlayStation State of Play.
Dun dun dun.
This was on Thursday. They showed off 10 games, and we can actually bust through a couple of ones really quickly because to be fair, are any of you guys interested in Knockout City?
Nope, not even slightly.
Blake, are you interested in Knockout City?
Nope.
Okay. Are any of you interested in Five Nights at Freddy's?
Absolutely.
I'm actually terrified.
Okay.
Of the original series of games, right?
So much.
Yeah.
Oh god, no. But then again, I did watch the trailer for it, and it didn't seem as scary as the old games.
Yeah, they're not going to jump scare you in the trailer.
No.
Didn't they absolutely jump scare you in the first trailer they had?
Yeah, in the first trailer.
They did. Yeah.
That game's going to be nothing but jump scares, man.
It's the original ones were. Yeah. But you're with your trailer let you know you were with a partner this time. That instantly doesn't
Yeah.
make it as scary. So I am interested in watching the film that was based on it. So I'm trying to get told to watch it with me.
Well, that's something we have to do this week at some point.
Anybody here interested in Deathloop?
Less and less every time they show it again.
Okay.
I wanted to. The art style's cool, but the
Alright.
gameplay not so much.
So, respectively, Knockout City comes out May 21st. They showed a gameplay trailer. Five Nights at Freddy releases sometime in this year. I don't think they gave a release date for that. And Deathloop is also May 21st. Or at least from what I gathered from Google, the initial release date is May 21st. So if anybody's interested in that, those are respective release dates. Now onto the stuff that is really super important for this state of play. They showed the PS5 update for Crash 4. I have not played Crash 4, but I heard that it needed this update really, really badly because even though you can play it on the PS5, there are still hefty load times.
He meant PS4.
Oh yeah. Even though you can still no. What do you mean? What did I say?
PS5.
Well, yeah, I mean you can still play this on the PS5. You can still play Crash 4 on the PS5.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was the one who misunderstood what you meant.
Yeah,
I see.
There's a PS5 update for it. Like they're actually putting the optimization patch for it in. You can still play Crash 4 on the PS5 like right now, but it's not optimized for it. There's still apparently some hefty load times, and then the frame rates actually still kind of drop. So it's just not optimized well enough for it. And this one's going to give it the constant 60 frames, or I guess if you have a high enough TV, 120 frames, it's going to give you the 4K and everything. So that's good. After that, they showed Returnal, which I didn't actually realize until now, or until I watched the trailer, that it's actually a roguelite, but it's like the most AAA I've ever seen a roguelite be.
No argument here. That seems entirely accurate.
That release date is actually April 30th. That game looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
Holy crap! I wasn't interested when Returnal was like revealed to be at that PlayStation 5 conference that they had back in September, I think. Wasn't too into it, but after seeing because they showed off some gameplay for it on Thursday, that game looks really good, and I'm not too into roguelites, but I will probably give this one a try.
I would still like to see more before I make a decision, but it does look like it's going to be a pretty good game.
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's probably weird to say because a lot of roguelites actually do look nice, but it's weird to see hyper-realism sought after and achieved in this genre.
Yeah.
Since it's so indie-rific.
Yeah.
It's just very impressive.
Yeah, I'm fairly interested in it, and I think they'll probably show one more trailer before the game comes out, and then I'll probably wait a couple days and watch people play it and see how it actually plays before I get it.
The safe bet.
Yeah. Next, you were actually really interested in this game, Sifu. They made a trailer for PS4 and PS5.
I grew up watching kung fu movies from the time I was small, sitting with my uncle, just going down and grabbing whatever was around. So yeah, this was nice. And then I still watch them. So like seeing certain homages, like the blatant old boy reference at the very start of the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go around beating people up and becoming Sifu. I am the master now.
It looked pretty nice. It was actually the only new game showed this in the state of play.
Ooh, is that true? That might be true.
The corridor.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. Yeah. That's a certain old boy reference.
Yeah. This is the only new game showed this state of play.
Yeah, because even though the new content was content for a game we already knew about. It's a fair shot.
This game looks really interesting.
Yeah, so do you essentially gain your skill over the years and become the master?
as best as I can tell from this advert, from the trailer rather, it's also a roguelite. Because
Yeah.
Oh,
every
okay.
time you get beaten, you get older.
Oh,
And I guess everything, like all the experience you've accumulated, you go back to the beginning and you probably pick stats or something, and you're better on the second run, and you slowly but surely become a master.
okay, okay.
But that's just a guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was no release date for this one yet. It was
No.
just freshly announced. But it looks pretty cool. We'll keep an eye on it
Mm.
for any more. Next was we saw more Solar Ash. There's no release date for Solar Ash yet, but it's a game being made by the same people that made Hyper Light Drifter. It's a really like color contrasted maneuver oriented platformer game.
It does look that way, yeah.
Very, very, very movement heavy. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But
The visuals remind me of the mishmash of Journey and what the hell? Anyway, yeah, certainly Journey from these screenshots.
The
Color's
game it
amazing
most
though.
the game it most reminded me of,
Uh-huh.
and I guess I should say Hyper Light Drifter since it's the same company, but it wasn't. It was a game called Fury. I don't know if you all
Fury?
played it. It's
Alright.
essentially just a boss rush game. I think I've heard people refer to it as a roguelite, but it's not. It's just a pattern-based boss fighting game where once your whole purpose is learn the rhythm, learn the pattern, beat the boss, progress. It had a very similar like color aesthetic, like lots of like just weird geometry and bizarre landscapes and yeah, no. So I mean, Solar Ash looks neat. It's probably not a game I'm going to run after, but I kind of like the synthwave colors that they chose. It's at least pleasing to look at.
Definitely.
yeah, it looked pretty nice. I don't know if it's my style of video game playing, but it's definitely somebody's. Next, they showed off Oddworld Soulstorm. They had a new trailer for that.
No one here is looking forward to that, right?
Nah, nobody.
Wait, what?
No. The game sucks. Nobody likes it here.
How excited are you for a new Oddworld game? Like,
Oh, I love Oddworld. It's a good series. I mean, it's very nostalgic for me, so I'm not quite attached to it for that reason. Playing Abe's Odyssey way, way back, and obviously the more recent one, the remake of it. So yeah, I mean, there's no big changes, no really from what's happened already in the series. I just hope it's as difficult as the previous games.
Yeah. It's coming out April 6th, but it's also going to be free with PlayStation Plus for the first month. So if you have PS Plus and a PlayStation console, you can download it for free. So, give her like $15.
oh, this is definitely going to be a present. Absolutely.
Hey, but yeah, no. I mean, the only thing that's maybe deviates slightly from previous game is probably that it's very much like old game Lemmings, where you have to lead multiple like comrades through the puzzles. Yeah, there's going to be that kind of a thing.
There's a little bit of that in Paper Mario 2.
Oh yeah.
That I have to deal with because I'm in the middle of like playing that off and on. So I actually understand that. So they showed a trailer for Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. I think it's both for PS5 and PS4.
Yeah.
They did delay it though. It got pushed back to August 24th. It was supposed to come out within the next like couple of months, but it got pushed back to August 24th.
It looks adorable.
That game
like those
looks
little potatoes.
really good. This game looks like a kid version of a Dark Souls game.
Hmm.
I had not thought about it this way. It was reminding me a lot of the DreamWorks and Pixar type
Yeah.
movies. Um, there's one that was just released that reminds me a lot of.
That's
But yeah.
Disney. Yeah.
Oh, is it Disney?
Oh, Disney Pixar, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a
So-
Pixar video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely adorable, and it kind of reminds me of, I don't know, games like is it Beyond Good and Evil? Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, actually, I can see
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. I'm
Sorry,
actually
I had
really.
to double check because there was supposed to be another Beyond Good and Evil, and that just never happened.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
No, never happened.
I'm actually really excited for this game because it looks like it plays very, very smoothly.
Yes. Let me collect the potatoes.
Yes. Collect the potatoes. But yeah, that comes out August 24th. I really hope no other games come out around that time so I can actually sit down and play it. But I have a feeling that there's some video games that might be coming out during the summer that I'm going to be like,
Next is time for Dollar to be salty.
all right,
I
Dollar.
fucking called it.
We're at the
I
two.
called this.
We're at the.
I told you, and you told me I was being cynical, and I just wasn't being optimistic enough. I knew it. I knew it.
All right. To be fair, I may have been too optimistic about Square Enix, but they've been good for the past like couple years where they haven't been completely fucking everybody over. All right. So it's giving them the benefit of the doubt, but I also have to remember that not everybody can be as cool as the 14 development team. Okay. So there's like you have Square, and then you have the 14 development team. Or you have Square, and then you have you have business creative business unit 3. All right.
Square, stop where you are. What have you got in your hands? No, let me see them both.
Anyway, so
Oh,
they showed a trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is a PS5 update for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and upgrading to the PS5 version, if you have the PS4 version, is free, no charge. And after that, you get access to the DLC that comes with Intergrade, which is a side story with Yuffie as she and some other person is infiltrating Midgar. During the time where Cloud is like hanging out with Aerith, and it goes on in the background to the end of the game.
yeah. This is interesting because, in the original game, you meet Yuffie for the first time while wandering around in the world map.
Yeah.
And she is a random encounter. You have to run around like a certain area a few times. And then essentially you beat her, she ends up stealing your materia and gets kidnapped. And then you have to go save her.
Yep.
Yep. So I'm interested to see. It would explain why she's in that area of the world. So maybe that's why, they'll tie in that kind of thing.
Well, with the 7 Remake storyline, everything's a little different because it's
That too.
not
That
the
too.
first storyline.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of shit's happening to where Wutai is actually trying to work with Avalanche in taking down Shinra.
Yeah, and they seem to be, at least in Remake, they were keen to. There was a note now and again. They were keen to blame Avalanche on things, and I'm assuming they're going to try and blame Mutai on stuff as well.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So it's pretty much episode Yuffie, like how with Final Fantasy 15 you got all those episodes where you get to play as different people. The unfortunate thing is that it is PlayStation 5 only.
Yeah. So, Dollar, how do you feel about this?
Vindicated in the worst way. No, this doesn't surprise me. I knew this was going to happen. To be fair, I actually didn't know this was going to happen. This caught me off guard a bit. I have been saying since the game came out, my biggest fear was that I have bought into this game knowing full well that if they drop a second part soon, I won't be able to play it. I am correct.
Yeah. Unless they make a PC
And
version.
it won't matter because, as evidenced by Final Fantasy VII R, it's not going to happen soon.
Yeah.
They haven't even mentioned it yet. Anything we know about that is purely rumor.
Yeah. But I mean, the 1 year the 1 year exclusivity is not up until April, so. And they weren't going to announce that at a PlayStation conference, so. But you get to play as Yuffie. She's infiltrating Midgar. You get to fight some giant robot. You actually don't get to control her companion that's with her.
Sonnen.
Yeah, Sonnen Kisakube or whatever.
I have no idea what his last name is at all.
I think he said his
you
name was
don't?
Kisakube.
You don't get to control.
You don't get to control him. You can command him to do certain things.
Ah, it's like what they did with Red. I see.
Yeah.
He plays... Oh, Red is... never mind. Red is such a better example than what I was thinking. I was going to say, he plays like the boys from 15 Vanilla.
I have a theory though. I think he's going to be the base model, or not like base like design model
For Sid.
for Sid. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
entirely possible, but hear me out on this. If that were the case, I think he would be playable.
No, because they haven't fully fleshed him out
they-
yet.
True, fair enough. And admittedly, all you really had to say was, yeah, but Red. And I still
Yeah,
would have
but
been
Red,
wrong.
yeah.
The Red,
Um,
yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe he seems to be pretty Yuffie-centric, though, to the point that they have literal awesome team-up attacks.
Yeah. I feel like you're going to have team-up attacks with Sid.
I don't. And I think this purely because they had their opportunity to show that off, and they opted not to.
Did they, though?
They had...
Remember, they were being pushed to release this game as fast as they could.
Yeah, but this is a concept that they would have had in from more or less the beginning.
Dude, they had a lot of shit in the concept in the beginning of the game, but that got canned when CyberConnect 2 wasn't part of it anymore.
Exactly. So I think that they, especially with the success of just I'm going to call it bare bones. It's actually not, but the bare bones system that they have in place now is pretty good. If I'm wrong, I'm happy to be wrong. It's something that when they were first showing off 7, I was kind of excited by because they had a lot of really fancy things happening at once, and I was so certain Tifa jumped off the Buster Sword, and I was like, oh!
Yeah.
But she didn't.
But she didn't.
But she didn't.
No.
But Yuffie jumps off that pike.
Yeah.
1,000. Well, Yuffie doesn't jump off of anything; she is tossed,
Yeah.
and it is wonderful, and I think it's great. And I have a pretty high expectation of this new character to be dead by the end of this.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yes.
100%. He's going to be dead.
Yeah, I
Dead.
agree. I
Yep.
agree. They'll be all emotional. Yuffie
Now-
will cry.
There is another option to this.
Uh-huh.
The other option being things go down in Wutai, and he hightails it the hell back,
Nah, he's
that's
dead.
it, yeah.
and he leaves Yuffie here, and she gets real panicked about that.
Nah, he's dead.
But that just makes more sense
Dead.
because we don't know who this character is, and
Yeah.
yet there are characters like Leslie
Yeah, that's true.
who are just random side characters designed to expand the world as little as he actually does.
I think
Oh no,
he's dead.
he was in the game, but in the original one, but not as featured as much. I think you mean the other chick. What's her name? The little girl.
Well, yeah, that's a better example.
Yeah.
The angel's
Yeah. The-
granddaughter
yeah.
or whatever.
The thief.
Oh my
lady.
god, she got me hot, and I don't mean that like in a good way. I was so angry with that character. What a shit character! Why don't you just put Yuffie in there causing trouble? No, you have this kind of Yuffie-looking character there that does nothing. Does nothing. Anyhow, back on train. The game looks fantastic. Like there's no getting around that. Final Fantasy VII looked amazing on the PS4. It looks astounding on the PS5.
Still
Is
JPEG
it-
ceiling.
Kind of. It's
Really?
a prettier JPEG.
Well, I mean, yeah, they just lightened it up a bit.
No, no, no. Take another look at those trailers. They did work to some of the real blemishes.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's mainly the change in lighting that makes it look.
No, again, I'm serious. Once the plate has fallen, have a look see around the trailer. You're gonna
Okay.
find that it is not like what we remember.
I mean, I'll be able to experience it firsthand.
Why are you like
Ow.
this?
I actually feel a little bit more vindicated in this trailer because we see some Dirge Cerberus elements in this game.
Wait! Don't get excited. Don't get excited. And I'm gonna nip this shit right in the bud.
Mm-hmm.
So we see deep ground soldiers. This much is true.
Yeah.
And we see a certain character who shall remain nameless because
Mm-hmm.
he's bad. But where we see that character is maybe not very clearly, but has a lot of similarities to VR space.
Aha. So, he did confirm that there is a Super Boss VR of going up against Vice. But
Okay.
no. He specifically stated he will not talk about his story elements because it is a spoiler. So he's gonna. I think he's going to be in the story of Intergrade.
No. I'm gonna go ahead and remind you. Technically, Chadley's a spoiler, and he's not doing much to the greater narrative.
Oh no, yeah, he's not going to do much to the greater narrative, but he's still there. All right. I still feel vindicated because you know what that means, right?
They're not bringing him back. They're not doing it.
Genesis will
Oh, no.
will arrive.
No.
His time will arrive. I mean, they're going to change his face because it's not going to be Gact anymore. But
his face isn't the problem. Gact is a pretty boy. He's a pretty face. The face is not the issue.
No. The issue with using Genesis was the fact that
allow me to rephrase.
The fact that Gact doesn't want that.
Now, my issue with Genesis is not that it's Gact and that he causes legal.
No, your issue is Genesis in general.
I don't like what he brings to the story, and I love Crisis Core because it follows the correct character. Yeah. But Genesis is such a problem.
I mean, they've already talked about the G soldiers.
They did. They brought up Project G and everything.
There's Deep Ground. There's Vice.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
Look, okay, I tell you what though, Vice can be in this. The moment I see Nero, I'm out. I'm done. Unless they have drastically changed what he's about and how in the words he uses, I'm out.
So more importantly, this Vice is pre Hojo.
It would have to be. I mean,
well, no, it has to be pre Hojo because Hojo's still alive.
Hojo's still alive. No, but it would have to be just because Dirge of Cerberus happens years after Crisis Core. Not Crisis Core, Advent Children.
Yeah, it happens 1 year after. It happened 1 year after. Yeah, 1 year after.
2.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, point is that happens at that is, to my knowledge, the end of the timeline. The only thing that happens that we know of that's later than that is Red running with the Cubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, where did the Cubs come from? No one's willing to have this conversation.
There is actually.
Red's running
I don't
from
know what it is.
Red's running with the Cubs happens years and years after.
No,
everything.
he's talking about where'd the lady come from.
No, not the lady.
No, there is
where the Cubs come from. Period. Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, there is another of his species, but it's like in a side game somewhere.
Yeah,
like
he's trapped in stone in Cosmo Canyon.
No, that's his dad.
That's his dad.
They're not a lady.
No, they're not. No, I actually didn't know this.
Yeah, there is. I'll dig it up later, but yeah, there is a side character.
Anyway, Vindication. Genesis will return.
Yeah.
He probably will. I don't want him to.
Yuffie wears her Mog poncho, which is also an Easter egg from
She's so cute. God
damn
it. That is not something I hate from Dirge of Cerberus. That stupid fucking
the poncho.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
But that's actually not the most exciting Final Fantasy news that we got this week.
I mean, I disagree with you, but fair enough.
The most exciting Final Fantasy VII news this week was that they announced 2 mobile titles. One being The First Soldier, which is a trademark we were all been talking about, which is a Final Fantasy mobile battle royale
I hate that you just used all those words one after another.
Set 20 years before 7, and shows the trailer shows a young Rufus, and not a young Rufus, a young President Shinra, and will possibly have a young Sephiroth in it. This game looks like hot trash, and will probably suck.
I mean, that's the problem. Is it doesn't look like hot trash, does it?
It actually looks kind of good.
It's going to be awful because if we've learned anything from Square, it's that they're really bad at shooters.
Make a PC port of this, please. I will play it.
I mean, even if they don't make a PC port, people are just going to use Nox and BlueStacks to emulate it.
Mm-hmm. But the actual important news, mobile-wise, that we got is that Ever Crisis is going to be a Final Fantasy VII compilation, turn-based, or ATB gauge-ish RPG that covers the entire Final Fantasy VII compilation from Before Crisis all the way to Dirge of Cerberus.
Yeah, everything is playable,
Even Advent Children,
including Advent Children. So that's gonna be wild.
Can I please do the fucking tower Bahamut fight? Where we're throwing each other in the up higher and higher and higher.
I genuinely don't know how they're gonna do this without it being weird. But it's in the style of Final Fantasy combat that I enjoy the most, barring 16. We shall see. And it's. I mean, this is all just nostalgia. None of this is going to be new, if I recall. This is all just faithful recreations of what we do know.
What's going to be new is that people that have not been able to play Before Crisis because it was a mobile game that came out way before mobile games were really even popular. Back on flip phones. You will be able to play Before Crisis. From what I heard, the episodes are supposed to come out monthly. So there'll be.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
Yeah, don't hold your breath on that one. It's supposed to be every month. The base is going to be most likely going to be Final Fantasy VII at first, and I think the first one's probably going to be Crisis Core that they come out because they did show a clip of Zack on the train in the beginning of Crisis Core.
I mean, to be fair, they also showed just 7, so...
Yeah, this is saying. I think the first release is going to be the episode of 7, where you play through probably all of 7.
Do you really think... Oh, hold on now. That's something I hadn't considered. Do you think each individual content drop is the full story?
Possibly. I mean, it's not as like heavily development based.
Yeah, they're not going to go into as much detail as the console ports. Yeah, I hadn't considered that. I've always just considered that it would be like chapters. Like we would do the bombing run, break, something new, break. I hadn't considered that. Yeah, they could really,
and they can cut out all
this.
of the filler in 7 to make it to be not a fucking 20 to 40 hour game.
I certainly think this means it's going to be shorter than I imagined. I do not, however, think it's going to be one content drop per title.
I mean, possibly not, but I mean...
I think they'll break it into 2 or 3.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, I hadn't considered that. Yeah, no, these will probably just cover more than I expect.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
I'm just interested in getting the story of Before Crisis because I've played all of the other games like 12 billion times. I've never touched Before Crisis and never gotten the story of Before Crisis.
Yeah, this is the one that features Nanaki's eventual girlfriend as well, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the pups thing is like years and years even after...
Oh, yeah.
Even after Dirge of Cerberus.
Yeah. Nature has reclaimed the land and everything.
Yeah, this is like hundreds of years after, where fucking... I didn't expect... I didn't think he was going to be able to survive that long, but I guess the species just like survives for like ever.
Yeah.
Didn't they say that the species like they live to be hundreds of years?
I may have skipped that line in the original 7, so...
Yeah.
It's
They live
been
for centuries.
actually forever. And the last bit of 7 news, there was an interview with Nomura, where it covered actually a bunch of other things. But the main thing to pull out of it is that he's actually not directing the part 2 of the remake. It's going to be Naoki Hamaguchi who's directing it. Nomura is stepping back and being creative director of the video game.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nomura's creative director of the series, right? He's not actually the lead director of any part of this.
He was
of
supposed
this
to be
series anymore.
Was technically at the start he was co-director with Katase.
Well, yes.
And then after 7 came out, after the remake, he stepped back to be creative director. And I think now it's probably Katase and Hamaguchi that are like co-directors now, but Hamaguchi is now is going to be the main director for the part 2 of the remake. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, Hamaguchi's was working on Mobius Final Fantasy a long time back, and then he stepped down in order to focus on Final Fantasy VII Remake. And then 2019, he was company's business. He was promoted as director in 2019.
Yeah.
This is all news to me. I didn't know much about
Yeah.
this individual.
This was after the restructuring of the company's business divisions.
Mm-hmm.
Mobius, huh?
Where? Why? Yeah. That's.
Oof.
His full series was his first game, visual effects and time rendering in 2006 on Final Fantasy 12, and then 2009. Sorry, he was lead event programmer on 13, and he was a client programmer on 14, and then 13.2 lead application programmer, then Lightning Returns main programmer, then Mobius project leader, then co-director on remake.
Damn, he shot up like fucking
Yeah.
programmer to director.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think a lot of the I think some of the programmers will probably make better directors because they actually know what can actually be put into the game at a relatively expedient time, I guess.
It's just nice to see people getting by on their merits and not because they've been at a company forever.
Yeah, thank God. Man, I can't wait for 16 because Yoshi P deserves the fucking single player Final Fantasy game, man.
I just want to physically play it.
Yeah.
You can guys, hit me up. Just give me the game. Cut out all the cutscenes. I just want to do the fighting. It looks really good.
Yep. Hopefully we get some more news on that soon. I mean, new season's coming up, so.
It very much is, yeah.
But that's it. That's all we have this week. I mean, it's 2 hours and fucking 30 minutes into this fucking recording.
You did it.
That's actually the under for me. I thought we were further in. Nice.
I mean, I can cut out like 15 minutes because I think I started recording like 10 minutes, like 10 minutes into the call. But.
Okay.
Yeah.
Classic.
But what are you guys doing this week? I mean, obviously I told you guys to download the Outriders demo, so get on that.
And I will.
Yep.
But any other plans?
I'll schedule to play that with you all, and then probably just get stuck into 14 some more. I want to play a console game though, so I'm going to think about it.
Yeah, and I'll be playing Outriders with you as I can, and I actually have to tear apart my room because I need to remove an old chest of drawers and my old desk and buy a new desk and table. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
But I have 5 days without classes, so I'm taking this little mini weekend to play Vinci games again.
Yeah. I'm gonna play more Ghost of Tsushima. Hopefully, at some point in time, I will actually beat that game. But like I said, when it comes to open world games, I run into I need to go to this point on the map, and then 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 this point on the map.
I understand
This one. Okay. And then I'll play Outriders with you guys, which you guys should start downloading that really soon because I have Wednesday and Thursday off, so I can probably easily do something those days with you guys.
Right, yeah.
That's my plans for the week. I think we're good.
All right. You guys be good now.
Yep.
Take care, bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. If you like this content and want to see more, please like, favorite, and subscribe. Links to our Twitters are in the description.